Hi, welcome back to Factoring Trinomials. Now we're going to go ahead and look at the instance where my signs are not going to be the same, they're going to be opposite. All right, so look at a real simple example here. So I look first, do I have a GCF for all three terms? No, because a is equal to 1 and I have nothing higher than an x squared. Right. I want to go ahead and look at my last sign. My last sign is negative. Now, in order to multiply and get a negative, you guys remember the little tic-tac-toe board I showed you, right? Okay. But the only way you get a negative is when you multiply two negatives, otherwise you get a positive. Okay? So, I have a negative as my last sign, which means I'm going to have opposite signs. When I have opposite signs, remember when I add integers and they're opposite signs, I need to actually perform subtraction. So I need to subtract to get my middle term. Now, when the signs are opposite, what the first sign tells you is which sign is the larger number. Okay, so in this case, my larger number must be plus because I have a plus first. All right, let's go ahead and look at factors of 6. Factors of 6, I have 1 and 6 and 2 and 3. Right, now I'm looking for a pair of these that subtract and give me this invisible 1 we have here in the front. That would be this set right here. 3 minus 2 is equal to 1. So I'm going to use my 2 and my 3. All right. I'm going to go ahead and set up my two binomials. My x is still going to go in the front. My 2 and my 3 can go wherever they would like. Now, I have to have opposite signs. My larger number must have my plus sign, which means my plus sign must go with my 3. And the minus will go with my 2. Now, in order to check this, now I already know the x in the front and the 2 and the 3 in the back are going to give me my x squared and my 6 respectively. So I want to go ahead and do what I call the necklace. And all I want to do is I want to check the middle two terms, because what I want to make sure is that my signs are placed correctly. Okay, I knew I needed opposite signs to get my minus 6, right? But I want to make sure my signs are placed correctly to get my positive 1. So I go ahead and I have a negative 2 times x, which is negative 2x. And I have an x times a positive 3. That gives me a 3x. And when I add those together, 3 minus 2 does give me 1x. So I am good to go. So the necklace is a way to go ahead and check when they're opposite signs without doing a full FOIL. So here you're still checking, but you're not doing the whole thing. You don't need to. As long as you follow all the previous steps, everything else should still work out. You shouldn't have to do a full FOIL. Let's look at example 2. So example 2, my last sign is negative, which means my signs are going to be opposite. My first sign is positive, so my larger number must be positive. Because my signs are opposite, I will be subtracting to get that 10. So I need factors of 24 that will subtract and give me 10. And I don't necessarily sit and worry about it right away. I say, okay, what are factors of 24? Well, I have 6 and 4, I have 8 and 3, I have 2 and 12. Okay, let's start with these. Do I have any of these that subtract? Now remember, they have to subtract, not add, to give me 10. 6 and 4 add and give me 10, but they don't subtract and give me 10. So I can't use those. Same with 8 and 3 add to 11, but they don't subtract and give me 10. That is not a set I need either. However, 12 minus 2 does equal to 10. So now I have a winning pair. All right. Now the positive must go with my larger number. So my 12 must end up being positive and my 2 must end up being negative. Let's set up our two binomials. I have x's in this, so I'm going to put x in the front. I'm going to put my 12 and my 2. My 12 should get my plus, because I determined that already. My 2 should get my minus. And then I'm going to do a quick little necklace check. So my middle two terms, I have a negative 2x. My outer terms, I have a plus 12x. And when I subtract them, I do get 10x. I am good to go. Okay. Let's try a couple more here. So here I have a minus on my last side, which means I have opposite signs. And I'm going to subtract to get my middle number. Only in this case now, my first sign is minus, so my larger number in this case must be my negative. Okay. Factors of 16. I have, let's see, I have 1 and 16. I have 2 and 8. I have 4 and 4, and we'll kind of go with those. And remember, they need to subtract and give me 6. Well, 16 minus 1 does not give me 6. That's out. 8 minus 2 gives me 6. There we go. And so obviously 4 minus 4 gives me 0. All right. So in this case now, my larger number must be the minus, and my smaller number must be my plus. You can mark them like this if you want to remind you. I'm going to set up my two binomials. My variables are still x. I'm going to put my 8 and my 2. My 8 must be minus, my 2 must be plus. Do a quick necklace check. I have minus 8x. And 2x gives me a minus 6x, which is what I have here, so we are good to go. I encourage you to try 4, and then go ahead and pause it for a moment, and then check and watch me do it. Okay. So in this case, 4, the sign is plus, which means my signs must be the same. I'm adding to get my middle number. And my signs must be negative in this case. Okay. So, factors of 20 that add and give me 9 are going to be 5 and 4. They both must be negative. Put my x's in the front. My 5 and my 4, they both must be minus. And if you want to, yes, you could still use the necklace to check. So I have negative 5x, negative 4x. Do they give me negative 9x? We are good to go. All right, we got 2 more here. All right, I encourage you also to work on these and see what you come up with, and then go ahead and restart the video when you're ready. All right, so this one I have a minus sign. That means my signs are opposite. I'm subtracting. My larger number in this case must be negative. And I need factors of 28 that are going to subtract and give me 3. Let's see, I got 2 and 14. That's a little too big. I have 7 and 4. 7 minus 4 is 3. Oh, there we go. I got a pair really quickly. All right. My largest number must be minus, so my 7 must have the minus. My 4 must get the plus. Set up my two binomials. My variable's x. Then we have a 7 and a 4. 7 must get the negative. 4 must get the positive. Do a quick check. I have minus 7x. plus 4x. That gives me a minus 3x. And I am good to go. All right. Again, looking at example 6, I have a minus and a minus, which means I'm subtracting. My signs must be opposite, and my larger number must have my minus sign. 45 is 9 times 5, which is I can think off the top of my head. But 9 minus 5 is equal to 4, so I've got to match really quickly. I'm going to set up my two binomials. Now this one is slightly different. Notice in the front I have my x squared. So I need an x and an x in the front. Notice though in the back I have a y squared and then I have this mixture in the middle. Notice I didn't really worry about that to begin with. That means in the back I need a set of y's. And I'm not going to worry about the middle. I'm going to set up my numbers. I need a 9 and a 5. The 9 must get the minus because it's the larger number. And the 5 must get the plus. And I'm definitely going to necklace check this one because it's got this weird XY in the middle. I don't know quite what that's going to do. Let's go ahead and check. So when I go ahead and do my necklace, I have negative 9y times x, which is negative 9xy. I just put them in alphabetical order. And I have x times 5y, which is positive 5xy, which when I go ahead subtract them gives me a negative 4xy. And notice I didn't worry about the two variables in the middle. All right. So go ahead and work on the practice exercises, ask questions for anything you have, and I'll see you in the next video.